Despite what this bedhead may lead you to believe, I haven't really slept in the last couple of days, not well anyway. Basically, you saw the title of the video, and the reason today is a big day is because today is the day that I'll finally be finishing my album. Now, if you've been watching my channel for, any amount of time over the course of the last couple months, and you know that this has, been something that I've been very passionate about. It's been something that I've been working on for a long time. This has been a long time in the making. This album I really only started putting into full production back in April, May, somewhere around there. But it's really been in the works for the last 6 years. I've gone through a lot in the last 6 years especially, and this is sort of a culmination of not only what I've gone through in the last couple of years just in terms of the music and where I'm at and reflecting at this stage in my life, but it's also a story of me and my entire life in general as well. And that being said, again, I've been working on it since April, or I've been doing full production of it since like April, May. But I I was slacking for a bit. So because this album is so deep, and because I have to dig so deep to pull out like all of the nitty gritty, dark, terrible stuff in order to try to put it into words and put it into sonic instruments and notes for people to listen to. It was very draining, and still is very draining emotionally anytime I do anything for it. So basically what happened is I was working on it for a while, and I've been working on it consistently, but it's been very slow because I can only handle writing for it and, doing things for it until I just kind of go into a full-fledged, panic attack or PTSD shutdown or nervous system shutdown where, my body and brain just can't really take plunging into those depths as much because, for normal people, they might have an easier time facing it, but because of my trauma and stuff, it makes it hard to actually write about this stuff sometimes, because it just, I have to dig so deep for it. And I've even done some self-inflicted torture, we can call it, during this album, where I don't want to get into the specifics here, but I forced myself to literally watch videos and look at pictures of things from my past to physically trigger a reaction to make it that much more raw, right before I go to record. It's fucking sick and disturbing, the depths that I've had to bring myself down to, and the demons I've had to face in order just to write this thing, because as you'll hear in the album, there's a lot of shit that I've never talked about before that is just I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy to go through. And as I always say, I don't say any of this stuff to be oh, feel bad for me, I'm such a traumatized soul. No, I just say this to be this shit is real, man. This album is so real, and I feel you're gonna be able to feel that, and I'm very proud of it. That being said, yeah, it was very draining. So back around, I want to say early July, I blew out my voice for about a week, and that was because I was recording one song on the album that triggered me so hard that I just lost control, and I was screaming like a maniac into the mic, and it was fucking raw, and it was awesome, and you'll hear it in the record. But I lost my voice for about a week, and after that, it took me a while to actually recover from that, because I kind of traumatized myself with the reaction that I triggered. So it took me a little while to recover from that, and by the time I did, my brain kind of had this thing where it turned off. It was I don't really want to work on this thing anymore. It's messing me up too much. So then I started working on another project. I actually started working on a second album before I finished the first one, and it was happier vibes. Well, not happier vibes. It was still really sad stuff, but it was sad in a punk rock kind of way, where it's sad but we're facing it, and you can vibe to it, Boulevard of Broken Dreams type stuff, where I was I had this one song, and there's a lot of songs that I ended up cutting from this record too. I had 15, I mean there was 15 songs or 16 songs or somewhere in that vicinity I had planned, and there was all these other songs I was working on and all these other ideas, but I decided to cut a lot of the songs that I even told you guys about before and narrow it down to 13 songs. We now have 13 songs. I will reveal the track list in a bit, and we'll keep talking about that, but anyway. So I started writing this one song. I had a guitar solo that I wrote, and I even showed that to you guys before, but I ended up cutting that from the record. It didn't fit here, but it was sort of a Stone Sour 3 Days Grace-esque, a love, not a love song maybe, I don't know, but it was pretty catchy too. But letting go of everything I've known, should've known you'd be the next to go, something like that, and it sounded nice. And I had I literally, the song is almost complete. I just need vocals. I did everything. The instrumental's done. done. But again, it didn't fit with this record, so I cut that. And then there was another song that was going to be one of the singles called Why Am I Such a Mess, and it's a punk song, and it was so catchy too, so I had guitars for it, like and there were lyrics from like depressed, lonely, spend all of my time loathing, anxious, shaking, got my heart is quaking, every day I feel this pain, it's all the same, am I to blame, I'm an ugly mess, addict to stress, I'm sick of living like this. And that's kind of how the hook went, you know, it was like kind of fast, kind of catchy, but it didn't fit with the record, so I ended up cutting it. But anyway, I started working on all that and started piecing together other things I had, and I started realizing, like, wait, I'm making a whole other project here. This isn't the original intention, because Survivor is just meant to be a nitty-gritty, disgusting rap, metal, rock, alternative, whatever the fuck you want to call it. There's not really a single genre you can place into this, because there's rap songs with rock elements, there's metal songs with rap elements, there's acoustic ballads, there's like synth wave shit towards the end, or not synth wave, but like synth heavy tracks towards the end of it. So you can't really like box it into one thing here. But anyway, so yeah, I started working on that, but then like end of July hit, and I was like, shit, dude, I have done nothing in almost a month for Survivor, and it's supposed to come out in 2 months. And if you know anything about albums and how this works, because this isn't a simple YouTube release or a SoundCloud release, this is a full-scale release. I'm putting this on all the streaming platforms. We're doing a physical print. It's going to be like a limited run physical print. Like, I need to have, it should have been done by now. It should have been done a long time ago before I even started dropping singles for this thing, okay? It should have been done a long time ago. And now we're here a month and a half, and I'm scrambling last minute. So what I did is, at the beginning of August, I went hard. I produced all of the instrumentals, or was it beginning of August? I don't know. It was like beginning, middle of August. I was like, I need to get this thing done. I produced all of the beats and instrumentals, guitar pieces, pianos, synths, drums, everything. I made sure the rest of the album was just fucking done. I sat down and I went ham for days on end, and I got it done. I got like all of the instrumentals and beats done, but then I sat again. And I sat for about 2 weeks up until just a few days ago. At the time of recording this, it's September 4th. And on September 2nd, I realized I have the instrumentals done, and I've been sitting on these for a few weeks, but the album's supposed to come out in less than 2 months, and I still need vocals for 7 songs. Because here's the problem. I almost had this album done a while ago. I really did. And I talked about that. I was like, oh, the album's almost done, vocals are almost done, but I didn't like it. I didn't like any of it. It just wasn't right. It felt manufactured. It felt like I did 100 takes trying to get the perfect one and was comping vocals to make it sound like the tightest, neatest, yet still sad record that was still had a level of polish, and I realized that didn't work. So instead what I did is I made it raw, I made it gross, and I did as many songs in like one take as I could. Well, not like full songs in one take, but I go in and I'd be like, okay, here's the first take. I listened to it, I was like, okay, I didn't mess up, cool, that's the raw emotion, we're rolling with that. And I didn't think about like, oh, let's hit these certain notes, let's hit these certain things. I was like, okay, we're on pitch, we're good, we're gonna let the emotion take over, whatever happens, happens. And now the record is just sounds so much better because of it. But anyway, yeah, so this section of like handling the last 7 songs on the record, this started 2 days ago, and 2 days ago I did 2 songs, just laid the vocals for them. I was like, okay, cool. That kind of sucked though, because the last song I did of that day was a metal song, so like I didn't blow my voice out because, you know, I have good technique, and if you're using good technique with doing metal vocals, your voice should be fine. But I still haven't, you know, I haven't used my voice much recently, just because, you know, I spent a lot of time alone, obviously, and it's been a while since I've recorded, so my voice was still a little bit like, all right, we're gonna need a minute, but I didn't give it a minute. So yesterday I did 3 songs, and you know, everything sounds great. And now today's the big day, because today's the day that I finished the album. I have 2 songs to go. One is a rap song, and the final song is a song I don't want to record. I really don't want to. I wish I could cut it from the record, because I don't want to record it, but that's the thing. It belongs on the record, and I need to record it, but I do not want to. It's probably like, thinking about it is already sending me over the edge. So recording it, I don't know. I'm already kind of getting antsy thinking about it. Kind of feel myself heating up. I don't even want to think about it right now. So yeah, it's kind of like, how do I put this? It's my scissors. You know the song Scissors by Slipknot? It's my scissors. It's my prosthetics. It's like that. And it's crazy, and it's very raw, and I have like a rough composition of it laid out. I know how the guitar, like the drums and guitars and everything and bass and everything's done, but the vocals, I don't like, that's the hardest part for me, because like writing it sucks, and then like vocalizing things suck too. It's just, I don't know, it sucks because it hurts, you know. But I need to do that today. So last 2 songs. The first one's a rap song, pretty depressing, but still upbeat enough to where it'll be fine. And then that last song. And once I'm done, then it's done. Then I can just mix the vocals, and that's that. I just mix it into the fucking tracks that I've already made, and that's it. And then the album is done. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Gonna be doing that today, and then as soon as it's done, I need to send it off to the distribution platforms and get it like sent out and ready for physical prints immediately. I'm so behind on all of this. There is a couple things though, some good news in all of this. What's the date today? The 4th, tomorrow's the 5th, so 2 weeks from now, September 19th, the final single for the album called Did This to Myself will be releasing on all the platforms as always. So that's pretty cool. I'll be doing like a live version of that as well. Also been looking into some things, been in touch with some people, and maybe doing a bit of a mini tour of sorts to promote the album. So if you're on the East Coast in the US, that could be pretty cool. Not confirmed. Got to decide if I'm even fucking up to that, if I even feel like it, or if that's something within my range that I really want to pursue. It could be cool, but I don't know. It's just something I'm sort of sitting with. Maybe. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's that. Like I said, I gotta finish that today. Oh, and the track list. Yeah, I told you I'd finish that. Or I told you I'd, like, tell you what that is. So, actually, I gotta pull up my phone real quick. Because, yeah, I rearranged a lot of things. You know, originally, I had one idea of what I wanted the track list to be, and, like, a flow of it. But then I was like, that doesn't really work for... Like, the way that I have it now is perfect. The way I had it before felt a little, like, disjointed, because it was like, ooh, we're going up, and then we're going up, and then we're going down, and it kind of wrote it out. It's kind of weird. But now I have a very steady progression and decline and everything, and climax, whatever you want to call it. So, track list goes as follows, and I'll put it on screen. Survivor intro, Survivor, Did This to Myself, IDGAF, Memories, Happy Place, Can't Quit You, I Don't Deserve You, Leave, 6, Leave a Scar, Is It Worth It, and Goodbye. So those are the 13 songs on the record. Like I said, 11 are complete. Like, even if I would die today, you guys would still have an 11-song record that's like 36 minutes long. When it's all said and done, I'm pretty sure the album's going to be like 45 to 50 minutes long, somewhere in that vicinity. So, you know, it's a decent length record. Again, 13 songs. Yeah, you know, I don't know. My goal with this album was not to make a best-selling record. I'm not trying to make radio hits. I'm not trying to get it on TikTok or whatever. My goal is just to make something real, because authenticity is something that this world is lacking in every fucking... The only like, here's the problem. Authenticity isn't lacking. Like, there's enough of it in every medium, whether that be music, YouTube content, video games, streaming, TV shows, movies, etc. It's not that there's a lack of it, it's just that there's a concerning rise of inauthenticity, which, you know, obviously if there's a rise in one thing, that means eventually there could be a decline in another thing, and I just feel like nowadays everybody in almost every industry, you know, like, I mean, look at video games, for example. You have all these soulless live service games that are constantly churned out or whatever, and it's very clear to see which ones are made from passion and which ones are made from, hey, let's get another live service game on the market, and then they end up shutting down like 2 months later, and then nobody can ever play it again. Or all these YouTubers that are copying MrBeast with their shitty AI thumbnails and their shitty AI content and their shitty unoriginal ideas, and everybody's screaming into cameras all the time, in today's video, like, oh gosh, go fuck yourself. And then like all the like streamers, and sorry, I think I knocked my camera, and like, you know, everybody else, like, by the way, that wasn't a diss to MrBeast. I love the hell out of MrBeast. He's a cool dude. I'm just talking about all the shitty clones that make terrible videos with no soul. But yeah, you know, and again, in the music industry, you know, you got like plants that are just trying to make radio hits and shit like that, or plants that are already established just making radio hits and nothing else. My goal with this album, because I have a whole thing in my notebook, it's like a thesis statement, I guess you could call it, for the album. It's everything I wrote back in April of what I wanted this thing to be, and I wrote down like colors I had in mind for like the themes of the album, because I like associate like I don't know, colors kind of give off like vibes and themes to me. Like when I think of like blue, I think sadness. When I think red, I think hate, disgust, anger, death. When I think green, I think like nature, but also like sickness. I don't know. And then black, I just kind of think like that's my soul. Like I don't know why, like that, I'm just kind of rattling off first words. When I said black, I thought my soul, so maybe that says something about me. I'm not trying to be edgy, just it's my brain at 7 in the morning. But I also had the thing in there that said, like, I want this to be, like, my Iowa, but of rap albums. Because, again, it's really hard to just call it a rap album, because there's so many, like, weird hybrids on here. There's one song that sounds like a fucking, like, groove, not groove, I don't even know what the word is, but it's like a pop rap song. I don't even know how to explain it. It's really pop. It sounded a lot poppier than I expected it to be, and then there's, like, one towards the end of the thing where it's just, like, metal, and it's just like, alright, cool. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to make something raw, make something real, something authentic, because that's what I do best. I don't do good at faking shit, so that's why I don't even try. And plus, what's the point of faking anything, you know? Why say something you don't mean? Why do something you don't want to do? Why make something soulless when you can make something full of soul? Why make the next radio hit that everybody will remember for a month, will get you $1 million, but then everybody will either be sick of it or never want to hear it again? Or, you know, you can make something real that stands the test of time, like Iowa, like the Marshall Mathers LP, like Kill 'Em All by Metallica, like fucking Raining Blood by Slayer, like Vulgar Display of Power by Pantera, LD50 Mudvayne. I could keep going, man. Like, there's so many legendary records out there that have stood the test of time because they were just real and didn't give a fuck. And yeah, that's my goal with this. Again, not trying to make a radio hit. I don't care if only 5 people listen to it. If it resonates with 5 people and they dig it, I did my job. And heck, even if, you know, the music only resonates with one person or one person can relate to it, then I've done my job. And I know that I've already done that, because after releasing the first 2 singles for this record, for both of them, I got nothing but love, like an outpouring of love and support for them. And you know, across everything, whether that be on like social medias like Facebook and Instagram, and in the, you know, YouTube comments, and, you know, just streams and everything. You know, it's been nothing but love. And again, you know, I don't care about releasing this album, and if anybody would ever review it or give it a score or something. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I don't care if you think it sounds good or bad. I don't care if you like the music or what I have to say, because it's what I have to say. And if you don't like what I have to say, then turn off the record and go listen to your shitty pop music. I don't care. I made something real. If you want to listen to something artificial with a bunch of shitty layers and you know, just like a bunch of fake garbage, then, you know, you can do that, man. I'm just making music the way that you know, music was always made before all this clout chasing industry playing garbage. You know, I sit down with a guitar or a piano and a, you know, like a fucking drum pad or something, you know, and I just start riffing it out, and it's like whatever happens, you know. I just start jotting down notes. Because here's the thing too, I never like write music. I play music, and what sounds good ends up on the record. Now granted, I do have some experience with this shit, obviously, like, you know, I've talked about before, like I study music theory and shit like that. So, you know, obviously I know the ins and outs of this shit when it comes to, cause I did this whole record myself too, you know. I like everything from making the music, recording the music, mixing, mastering, and distributing the music. I've done all of this myself. Like, nobody else has laid a finger on this, because that's how I like to do things. I like to do things myself. Why hire somebody else or have somebody else do something when I can do it myself and better myself than anybody else ever could, because I know how I want it, you know. Why have somebody else do something when I know how I want it done? I'll just learn how to do it myself, you know. At the end of the day, you're the only person you can trust. So yeah, man, I just make music the way, you know, the way I like to make music, you know. I don't have like, you know, like I have a lot of like spare lyrics and like instrumental ideas, but it's not like, you know, for some people like Eminem, for example, you know, I'm sure he's got like books of lyrics and, you know, all this shit saved, but for me, you know, it's just kind of like, it's very instinctual, you know. I sit down with a guitar, for example, I'm like, all right, here's my scale for this key, you know. If I'm playing in the key of like D minor, B minor, something like that, it's like, all right, I know my scale, I know what notes I can use, let's start riffing something out. I get something solid, put it on the track, get the drums in, write some lyrics to what I just made, or vice versa. Sometimes sometimes lyrics come to me first alongside the drums, and I put an instrumental to it, and then there it is. There's the song, you know. And that's how it is. Whatever the emotion says, not what the charts say, or whatever the popular thing to do may be. But anyway, yeah, I've been rambling for a little while. Got some venting off my chest. I'm very tired, and when I'm tired, I just kind of become like unfiltered like this, so sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, so I should probably shut up now. Should probably go get this album finished. I'm very tired, and tonight I'm gonna eat some vegetables, drink some green tea, or no, I'm out of green tea. I drank the rest of it last night. I've been drinking so much tea to heal my throat, bro. It's been like single-handedly carrying me. Green tea and honey, bro. That's like, there's a few different combinations you can do if you're a vocalist. Warm water and honey, or like green tea and honey and stuff like that. Dude, lifesaver. See, I'm gonna get this finished. Then tonight I'm gonna eat some vegetables. I'm gonna drink some tea, and I'm gonna get a damn good night's sleep. And then maybe by like Saturday or Sunday, probably Sunday, maybe we can get back to like live streaming or something like that. You know, just hang out with you guys and get out of my own head. Because literally for the last couple days, it's been wake up by like 4:30 a.m., work until like 12 to 1 p.m., usually about 1:30, and then work on the album from like, you know, anywhere from like 12:30 to 1:30 until like 8 to 9 p.m., leaning towards 9 p.m. Last night it was like basically past that. So yeah, I'm very tired right now, but I'm gonna go finish this. I'll shut up, and then I'll see you guys back here in tomorrow's video. And then when the single releases in like 2 weeks, we'll talk about that. And then the album will be releasing on my birthday, October 26th. So, you know, it's an album all about me. What better day to release it than on my birthday? So yeah. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out to go to the Patrons and channel members so you can only win the low ball tier, and an even bigger shout out to the Bottom King and Many, and the biggest shout out to the Thank you guys so much for the little legends. I love you. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.